been a few days since Creighton. How has the team responded in practice to what you saw on the court?
Yeah, we've done a great job refocusing our efforts. I think opportunities like that help see where you're at, things you need to work on, things you need to be better, being more intentional in certain areas. So I think defensively, that's been our identity. Will continue to be identity. I think all successful teams have an identity on the defensive end, and for us, establishing that right away is going to be important. And I think, look, offensively, it was great for us to have some struggles and some scoring droughts and learn ways that we can continue to move the ball better, play for one another. So great learning opportunity. Certainly we want to win every game and be successful, but I think right now, at this point of the season, you want to keep getting better.
You talked a lot about how you wanted to be in front of a crowd for it to be different. How much different was it than the secret scrimmages of the past?
Yeah, it's a significant difference when you're playing in front of a crowd and you're on the road especially, and when something's not to go to your way, how do you handle it? And Creighton had an amazing run against us, and we didn't do a great job responding to it. Well, those are the things you don't experience as much in the closed door environment because you don't have fans in there and it's not the same heightened emotion. So we learned more about ourselves. We put ourselves in position to go play a really good team on the road in that first game so we can learn and grow and be better for it.
You know, the first time the fans see the team most years, it's against a lesser opponent. How much different was it when if Creighton was left open for a three, they're hitting it most of the time?
Yeah, no, they expose when you make a mistake, and I think it's something that you want to learn from because we're not trying to play a style defensively to hope the other team misses. We're trying to make them miss, and it felt like at times it was more hopeful, and they have players that can make you pay when you don't do the job you need to do. So regardless of any of the external things or evaluations or what people thought, we know the team we can be. We know the work we do every day, and now we just got to keep doing the work.
What is Tamin's status currently?
Yeah, we're encouraged and believe that he'll be returning by opening night. Hopefully, he gets cleared at some point next week to return to practice, and then we'll move forward from there. Everything points to him being there opening night, though.
How else are you guys health-wise?
Yeah, we're good. Everybody else is good. I mean, there's a couple bumps and bruises. I'm sure guys are fortunate. We had an off day today with media day and let their bodies bounce back a little bit, but we're relatively everybody else is healthy and we're in pretty good shape.
Coach, has there been anybody on this team that's been really impactful in the offseason that maybe hasn't gotten the national media attention?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know as much about the what attention everybody's getting or not. I'd say for us, one guy that's really key is Nate Heise. Nate Heise, chip on his shoulder. Talk about him being defensive captain. We talk about him being a guy that can set the tone for us on that end of the floor. So when he's bringing that edge and that rugged toughness to our defense, I think that really helps inspire other guys and get us to play better. And then he plays better offensively when he leads with his defense as well.
Ask you,
Coach.
leadership-wise, who have you challenged this offseason?
So obviously you talked about it earlier. The overreaction.
Yeah, I mean, Jefferson, certainly a big change for him from what we had looked for last year and what we're looking for this year because now, he's stepping into a much bigger utilization and way we go about, playing his strengths and talents. Tamin's been a consistent and tremendous leader. We're always going to challenge those guys to be more vocal, to lead by example, to have tremendous body language, to inspire their teammates. But those are two guys that really, from a leadership standpoint, drive our team.
Coach, why do you still put so much emphasis on high school recruiting? I mean, if you look around the country, you guys are one of the few programs that is getting a lot of commits, early on in the process. But what do you think kind of allows that, and why do you still focus so much on that?
Yeah, we believe in player development, and I think that the guys that we've had in our program that really want to be there, you see a guy like Tamin or like Milan. To me, the guys that we're looking for is continuity, who really want to be Cyclones and then want to stay with us through the long haul. And so you have a lot better chance to do that when you cultivate a relationship on the front end for a year or 2 years as you get to know a young man and his family, as opposed to in the transfer portal when you have a tight window to make decisions. So we're going to continue to build and grow with high school guys. Obviously, transfers are a part of the equation for us as well, and we'll continue to lean into that. But we're not going to close any doors, and we're still going to lean into the development piece.
Why do you think some coaches are moving away from high school?
Yeah, it just seems like some coaches believe they're going to leave, or if you coach them hard, they won't stay, or it's wasting time, or freshmen aren't ready. I don't know what any of those misnomers or things others believe. For us, we've had some really good freshmen. We've seen guys get better in our program. We've continued to retain and develop those guys. So those aren't fears or things that we have as challenges. That's pretty good sized bicep. Good job. Keep working.
How does Jamarion kind of rank in freshmen you've had?
Jamari,
Yeah.
in terms of habits, I'll talk about is a guy who's listening, focus, production every single day is off the charts. It's no secret why he was a valedictorian in his high school. We see every single day that he shows up prepared to go to work, give his best effort, give his best focus, have tremendous energy. And so I think for all guys, when you're a freshman, you're fighting for that consistency. He already knows how to go about doing that. Now, as any freshman, there's going to be ups and downs. So you're fighting for that now, from a performance standpoint as well. So a lot of confidence in him. Again, I think for all of our guys, we tell our guys, like, on the night of the game, the job is play the best and you'll get more minutes. That's true for him just like it is for everybody else. And but we've got confidence in his ability to do that job.
What is he best at?
I mean, defensively, he's a guy with a tremendous mentality. He can guard the ball. He's a terrific off-the-ball defender. He has pride defensively. And then when he does that really well, it keys his offense. And he's a guy that can knock down shots and get a rhythm going in a hurry. And we saw yesterday in practice, he made 6 threes in our live play segment. He kind of got it rolling. And it usually starts or always starts with his defense. So that's what he values. That's what his character is. And that's what we're going to continue to lean into.
True, too. You see him as?
Absolutely.
Where could Josh go? I mean, like, the consistency we've seen, is there another level in this game? How does he get there?
Yeah, so Joshua's absolutely has another level. And he's extremely intelligent. He's cerebral. He sees the game a step ahead. For him to get to that next level, it's going to be the consistency in all the other areas. Because at night in and night out, scoring the basketball, other teams make decisions. There's going to be double teams, traps, help defenders, all those things. For him to take the step, it's lead by example. Every night I'm on the glass. Every night I'm pressuring the basketball. Every night I'm flying around defensively because we ask a lot of him, but we know what he's capable of, and we know what that step is. I'm confident in his ability to do that, and it's an everyday thing. And I think, there's no reason with his ability and the work that he's put into his game that he can't be one of the premier players in the conference and throughout the country.
You talked a lot about Nate Heise. What's your relationship like with him away from the basketball court?
Yeah, we invest a lot of time together and just talking about mindset and approach to things. I believe in Nate as a person. I think there's some things about his personality with the chip on the shoulder that resonate with me. We're working together every single day as a team to have Nate be in that position where, he can find that joy and happiness and with that chip on his shoulder every single day he's out on the court. And we invest a lot of time. He's worth the time. I know that that will pay off for him personally. It will pay off for our program. And it speaks to the relationship we have, and it's one that'll last for the long term.
He told me a couple weeks ago that he feels like he's learned a lot of different things from you. He called you like a philosopher. What type of things do you feel like you've tried to instill in him away from the basketball court just to live a successful life?
I just want for him to find the joy in the simple things, for him to appreciate the opportunity. I think when you've been in college basketball longer, like Nate has, you could be somebody that falls in the trap of, I've done this before, I'm over practice, or you can be somebody that has a mindset of gratitude and thankfulness and appreciation. Because when you treat it that way, you play better, you have more fun, and then you feel better. And I think what Nate's found is that when you have that attitude of coming in for thankfulness to have that opportunity and you make the most of it, then you play well, then you feel good, and then that sets up a reoccurrence of events. And we practice early in the morning, so the best way to have a great day every day is be excited for practice, have fun at practice, play well at practice, and then the day goes well. So I don't know about the philosopher deal. I believe a lot in mental toughness, mental focus, consistency of habit, and we're seeing Nate make tremendous strides in those areas.
How much have you seen him, personally evolve since he came to your program, a little bit over a year ago now?
Well, in the first year when you come in, not just for Nate, for anybody, especially when you come into a program that had successful guys who had been there, you're trying to find your footing. You're trying to figure out, where do I fit into this puzzle? What can I bring to the table? What does this team need? What does coach expect from me? And that was the case last year. And I think when you do that, there's going to be ups and downs, and Nate certainly had those throughout the course last year, but was playing his best basketball at the end of the year. As you come into this season, now we need his infectious personality to permeate and impact our team. He needs to come every day with that joy, that intensity. Nate takes tremendous pride in locking up on the defensive end and making that other team miserable. And for him to do that makes us really tough to play against. It sets a tone for his teammates. So I think in anything, the best form of leadership is example. And when he comes in and sets that example and standard and everybody else can see it, it makes everybody else play better. And that's what Nate brings to the table.
If you look around the conference, pretty much everybody in the top 8 has a freshman who's going to play, big minutes, make a big impact. Why do you think coaches might have gone so heavy on freshmen in this conference this year? And maybe what are the benefits to the league to have, NBA scouts have the Big 12 kind of be their appointment intelligence?
Well, look, a lot of the freshmen coming into our league are ones that are projected as first-round picks and some of the best freshmen in America, which speaks to the coaches, the league, the programs to be able to attract such a high level of talent. When you bring in those guys, like there's going to be a time where those guys are able to immediately have an impact, and there's going to be some that maybe it takes a little time, and maybe some that there's going to be ups and downs. So I think that all the programs have good freshmen at the teams that you just mentioned that are projected higher in the standings for whatever reason, and I think it also speaks to the coaches and their belief in the development and bringing those guys along as well.
We saw you walk over here with Bill Self. What's your relationship like with him, and how has it grown now that you have some years under your belt in the conference?
Yeah, I've got tremendous respect for Coach Self. When I first came into this league as an assistant, he treated me extremely well. He was always kind to me. Always had time to sit and talk and share wisdom. And so I've always appreciated that about him. Certainly, he's been the gold standard in this conference for a long period of time. I don't know that anybody in college basketball history has ever had the run of success that he's had and what he's put together at Kansas. So I value his friendship. I look up to him immensely for what he's accomplished. And I'm just, I'm pulling for him when we're not playing each other.
Last year, I know Coach Self, after the KU game, talked about your roster and how you built it through the portal. It seems like he's maybe adopted a little bit of that strategy. Is that something that you've seen throughout college basketball?
I think everybody's trying to figure out adapting and how to make that work best for their program year in and year out. And I think models that have been used maybe have been changed or altered, or the way that people have gotten talent in the past, maybe it's a different way now. So I think for Coach, what he's proven over time and a long stretch of time is that he's going to find the guys that are the right guys for him that they're going to win with. And so I'm totally confident in their program and what I've seen over time that they'll do that this year again.
When you're attacking the portal, I know you're not really looking at points per game, or you're looking at different traits. Has that changed at all over your 5 years, or has that pretty much stayed the exact same?
Yeah, what I value the most in people is how they handle adversity. How do they handle challenge? How do they handle something didn't go their way? So when we're evaluating guys, whether it's the questions we ask, what we watch on film, we're looking through what challenges have they had and how have they dealt with them. Because when you play in this conference, you're going to have adversity. You're going to have it in practice, in the game, on the road, at home, over a stretch of losses. And to me, I look at building our roster. The first thing we want is people that you can have on your team when you lose. What that means is people that you have tremendous character, belief, who are great human beings, and then the basketball takes care of itself. We've been fortunate, in the transfer portal to be able to get guys that really fit those things. But I think the character and I think how they handle adversity comes far before their basketball ability. And what we've been able to see is whether it's a guy like Isaiah Brockington, who goes from the fourth option at Penn State to one of the best scorers in the Big 12, a guy like Curtis Jones, who, people are probably surprised we took him and weren't sure he could play at Iowa State, and now he's on the Denver Nuggets. And then there's guys like Rob Jones, who was at Denver, who, probably wasn't the greatest scorers to ever play college basketball, but because of his work ethic, because of his toughness, because of his physicality, that guy is a part of as many wins and Sweet 16s as probably anybody in program history. So all those guys have tremendous character and show it in different ways.
How do you find that before they get to campus? Is it just as much as watching the film as it through phone calls, what's the biggest area you've been able to find that success?
Well, I think ideally you have a historical reference where maybe you watched them play in AAU, maybe you recruited them at one point, maybe you knew somebody who knew them well, and the more background information you can get on their character is so important because we live in such a world. Everyone wants instant gratification. People have victim mentality. Not everyone wants to work for it. People want to be handed things. And so to be able to find guys that continue to have those traits and attributes is so important. And it is. It's a blend of research. It's a blend of phone calls, film. But really what I'm looking for is moments when people crack, moments when they were really challenged, moments where their back was put against the wall, and then talk to them, be transparent, and ask them, how'd you handle that? How'd you look at it? How'd you see things? Because patterns of behavior are oftentimes repeated, and so if someone shows you who they are, believe them. I want to see with people that when things got hard, they demonstrated character. I'll believe in those people.
I know you had an opportunity this summer to see Tamin get married. What's it like to see one of your players kind of go through that while still playing on your roster?
Yeah, certainly a unique experience. I mean, really proud of Tamin, really proud of Sam. They're both extremely important to me. Love Tamin, love the fact that they've been together for a long time and they're gonna be a great husband and wife and great family. So proud of Tamin for the man he is. Proud of him for how he makes decisions. Obviously, a dynamic that we hadn't had before, but you know what? Tamin doesn't have to look at what anyone else has done. He needs to be him and run his race. And so it felt really good being there to support him, continuing to give him reminders. I feel like now you're going to be coaching him on how to be the best husband and how to, be a great listener and all those things that sometimes for all of us, it's easier to say than actually live out yourself.
How have you seen Tamin change over his 4 years, if at all?
Well, I think he came in with great character and will and want to, and now you see his confidence has grown to a certain level and his belief and like how he carries himself. We can see the things on the court. Unfortunately for him last year, whether there's this injury or that injury that inhibited him from playing at the level he'd have liked, we're going to get him back to full strength here very soon and get Tamin back to being the guy that he was, and then even one step further because he knows that as he's been out, you can see that boiling and that burning desire to get back to the court and that passion, enthusiasm are going to come out. And I think seeing his confidence with how he goes about doing that's pretty cool.
When you think about Tamin's entire career, when was he his healthiest? Because he's obviously played through the thumb last year, the shoulder the year before. I mean, you have to go back to his freshman year, his time in high school. Like, when was he his healthiest playing?
I'd say that sophomore year. I know there was still a little bit with the shoulder, but like that didn't hold him back. I mean, he shot 39% from three. It felt like he tracked down every loose ball that was out there. He commanded our group. Made first team all defense. He, quite frankly, had we won a few more league games, I mean, obviously Jamal Shed was a player of the year, but I'm not so sure how far Tamin Lipsey would have been behind had we won more. So I think that's the time where he's been, from my vantage point, overall the most healthy. Like, his freshman year, it's like we're talking about with all these freshmen. There's going to be ups and downs, and we're fortunate to be in a spot as a program where, we could play Tamin 30 minutes a game that first year and get those experiences. We had some great times. We had some challenges, but I think all those are necessary for his development to write his story and put him in the position he is today.
Knowing how different he plays than anybody else, is there different strategies when it comes to maintaining and making him fresh come March?
Yeah, I mean, I love how he plays. I love that competitive spirit. He needs to make great choices when he's playing because physically he's very contact-seeking on both ends. So he needs to make sure that he's making great choices in practice. It's not the same thing as being a quarterback in football and having on a different colored jersey, but I also think he has to make choices that make sense. We need to make sure that we have his health and wellness at the forefront of all the decisions we make. But we're going to be a team that practices hard. We're not going to be a team that does walkthroughs and walk around out there and then hope to play hard on game night. So it's important that Tamin and I work together and have that cohesion so that the only option is for him to stay healthy and have an amazing senior year that we know he's capable of.